Welcome to the Davinator 1212 live stream. I am your host, Ryan, joined by Dave and Marion. Say hi, Marion.
Hello.
Hi, Marion.
All right, Dave.
Hey, thanks for coming on the channel.
Come on down.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for joining us on our live stream. It's been a real pleasure to have you.
Have me guest star on my own freaking channel.
Hashtag better Dave. Comes back with a vengeance.
I'm gonna keep slipping it in there every time.
It's fine. It's whatever. Don't worry
fine.
about it. I got plenty of glue to sniff.
That explains some things.
Mm.
So, we have some things on the agenda tonight. First, we're going to go over the official character tournament announcement.
Do the boring one that no one cares about first.
Get that one up out of the way, yep. And then, I guess we can talk about something that you want to...
What the hell was that?
I don't know. Making problems here. And then we'll talk about some interesting things that Dave clearly cares more about than
like shitting on Scrubs. The theme of the channel.
My favorite topic.
You're not wrong, but that's beside the point. As you can see by the title, we're going to talk about what Paul tweeted out the other day, and then also why you shouldn't test out, or why you should test out cards that are just announced in the OCG.
Yeah, apparently Paul's a big fan of the Goblin Ryan meme. We have confirmation of that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you must be delusional. That's what I think, anyway. But that's just my opinion.
It's just a theory.
A goblin theory and cut.
That's something a goblin would say.
We're also going to talk about the adding summoning mechanics to the game, kind of like where do you think Yu-Gi-Oh is going to go from here now that we've gotten link summoning? You know, what kind of mechanics do you think you can add that haven't been done or would be redundant?
Spiraling down.
Yeah, more essentially. So the first thing up is let's go over the tournament stuff. So let me play the intro.
Oh, look at you.
It's so pretty. Can they hear us or not?
Yes, they could hear you.
Fart.
It's over now. So,
Just fart.
Narf.
They can hear me? Flirt. Like, what do you?
What's the first thing you could think of? Apparently.
I gotta laugh.
So this tournament's going to be a character tournament. So it's basically you're going to pick a character, pick their deck, and then build the deck around their archetype, their iconic archetype, or monster in the case of something like Dark Magician. We're going to be using the current TCG pool, with the minor exception that we are allowing the Salmon Great structure deck, which I think comes out like in a week.
I think.
So by the time the tournament starts, the structure deck will have been out. And then we're also allowing the Link Reigns 2 links. So not Needle Fiber, not Cherubini, and not Remage Jasmine quite yet. But we are allowing the Link Reigns 2, so the Harpy Link and some of the other archetype-specific ones are going to be allowed.
Because they're bad ones.
Yes, that is why, because they are the bad ones.
The bad ones.
The ones we do not speak of.
The only requirement is that the The deck consists of, at this point, it's going to be literally 29% of the cards need to be archetype specific. So in a standard 40-card deck with a 15-card extra deck, that's going to be 16 cards between the two that have to be part of the archetype or at least directly support it. If you have a question regarding if a card is supporting the archetype or is able to count, definitely let us know in the Discord and we'll make a judgment call on that. But your safest bet is if it has the name archetype in the name, it's probably good to go. That or archetype in the description. You are allowed to mix archetypes as long as you have met that 29% archetype limit. So and as long as the main archetype is in the majority. We are going to do a few rounds of Swiss, probably 7 rounds of Swiss at this point, depending on how much more people sign up. I'll make it bumped up to 8 if we get a ton more.
Nice. That's pretty good.
I think it's going to be 7 because I think that's up to 128 people is 7 rounds. So we'll do 7 rounds of Swiss, and then we'll take the top cut of that and do a single elimination round to figure out the prizes for that. What you're going to do for the sign-up procedure is there is a link, and I'll put this in the description when this gets uploaded. You go to the link, pick out a available deck that's going to be a Google Sheet. Anything that doesn't have a name next to it is fair game, so choose your character, choose your deck. If your character that you want to play is not listed, or you really wanted to play another one or another version of the deck that excuse me, that someone already selected, just let us know. We'll make a judgment call on that as well. Once you've chosen that, put your choice in the signups channel on the Discord, and we will put your name in the spreadsheet to reserve it. And then when you're done building the deck, also put a screenshot of your deck in that same channel so that we can approve it and make sure that you're not playing needle fiber, because everybody tries to play needle fiber even though it's not allowed.
I blame lithium.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another needle fiber deck pro duel.
Needle fiber pro.
Righty driver and lefty driver. Yeah. But I digress. Once your deck is approved, we will give you the tournament member role on Discord, and you'll see the check-in channel show up, and that is a link to challenge, which you will click and sign up for the official actual tournament. So make sure you do that, or else you're not going to get paired with anybody, and then you're going to be sad. There is a $1 entry fee, so click the PayPal link to put your $1 entry fee in there.
Oh yeah.
Patrons and sponsors.
Do I gotta pay?
Yes, please do. Patrons and sponsors do not have to pay. They do have free entry into the tournament, since they're already paying copious amounts of money to Dave.
Yeah, that's like that's like your one tangible reward for being in my Patreon.
All the other ones get waived immediately, but you at least get to enter the tournament. That's pretty much all you get. It's just different levels on how much you want to spend.
The prizes for the first place is a custom playmat and all the other ones. I am designing a kind of the rivals side, so it's going to be a full playmat. It's going to have the protagonists on one side and their rivals on the other of the full playmat, so that's going to look really sweet. I'll be posting pictures as I complete it. The second through fourth place is going to get a t-shirt from the Davinator Teespring store of your choice, and then the top 8 is going to have their deck profiled on the channel. And we'll go over.
I want my Ryan Goblin t-shirt if I win.
I will literally pay you upwards of $50 for that t-shirt. But it has to say Goblin.
Goblin.
I'll consider it.
Good deal.
I'll consider it.
Turn out Ryan's a goblin.
Goblin.
With money.
And then the final
It's the
point.
only one.
The final point is there will be DCS points awarded to the top 16 players that can be used for free entries into paid tournaments in the future, as well as some other things in the season of this tournaments that Kieran's got some plans for. So
The side tournaments. The DCS points, the points don't matter. Yes, the points don't matter. Like a screen door on a submarine.
would you just make like a tree and get out of here?
What? Is that a Minecraft joke?
That was a Back to the Future joke.
Oh. Oh no.
Are we gonna get copy strike now?
This is a laser disc I framed. Isn't this cool?
Awesome. That is awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. If you have any questions, feel free to go to Discord and ask there. There are 81 decks available to choose from, and about half of them are already filled up. So choose yours today.
It was a good shot.
And that's where we parse out the video. All right, good job, good people. That's a wrap.
Sweet.
All right, good.
Go.
On to the next one. That was 15 minutes. We gotta chop.
Chop chop.
Chop. What is the next topic of incredible interest for you, David?
I don't have the docs open. The docs. I need the docs. The redacted secret government folder, the X file.
We were just talking about steel beams.
That Mulder was looking for. It's got the truth.
Bueller.
Bueller. All right. Let's start off with adding a new summoning mechanics to the game.
Well, we should elaborate what we're doing, or at least tell our side.
All right, that's fine. Okay, fine. How about Ryan? How about you be moderator and you?
I am moderator. So what we're going to do is we're going to pose a topic that Dave and Marion are going to choose point or counterpoint. So essentially one is going to be arguing for and the other one is going to be arguing against. Each person is going to get how much time? How much time do you want to get?
I'd say
I don't have much, but I guess, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. But I don't think we'll be droning on too much.
A minute, you think?
I think I could yammer for a minute.
I think you can yammer for much longer than that.
Okay, I get paid to yammer for in segments of 10 minutes.
And you have to edit it.
That's true.
Also, I would like to add that the point or counterpoint that Marion or I put that the hill that we die on is not necessarily our actual opinion. We're just doing this for the devil's advocate-ness.
Yeah, because I don't believe half the shit I'm saying. But
Dante's advocate here.
What I'm saying is,
hey
like,
guys.
we're basically bringing up the points that the other side pretty much has, you know.
Yeah.
Unless sometimes you can tell which one's our real opinion, though. I'm sure Marion's is going to be really fiery.
Yeah. Like my
the fuckers scrubs.
These scrubs, I hate them all. They just want to play dark guy attacks. I hate them. Play Pot of Desires. It's not a deck 9. I promise. You'll love it.
It's not a neck. It is a neck 9.
Oh,
it's a terrible card. You should never play that card.
Yeah, it's too good.
So you want to do the summoning mechanic first?
Yeah.
First topic?
The summoning mechanic. Alright, so since I'm going against and you're for, I think you should start off.
Okay. So the first topic of the Grand U Divinator 1, 2, and 2 Debate League is the statement, adding new summoning mechanics to the game is healthy for the game. Basically meaning that whenever we get a new anime coming around, it's pretty much just a commercial for a new summoning mechanic, which is something like links or pendulums or synchros or Xyz or anything like that. And anytime they add something completely new, and they have to pretty much add an entirely new rule set in order to accommodate said mechanic. I believe that this is healthy for the game because it maintains interest as well as just keeping the players happy, because not only does it get in new players, but it also keeps the old players from getting way too bored with the game.
Is that your time?
That is my opening statement.
Okay.
All right. My opening statement, because I am against this, apparently. So the new summoning mechanics, I believe, are not healthy for the game because they're not very beginner player friendly, and they introduce new levels of power creep. The examples I bring is if you show a new player the game with all these different colored cards, it can very easily overwhelm them. So there's going to be a point where all the variety in summoning will actually have the reverse effect, where instead of bringing new players in, they're alienating them, and even dedicated members of the already established player base might also leave because of it. So that's my opening statement for that.
All right, Dave, you have 1 minute to
rebuttal. All right. Well, that was quite succinct of Marion.
I wrote it down and forgot about it immediately after.
I wrote it down. All right. Okay, so Marion brings up the point that having too many summoning mechanics in this game might actually alienate new players. Now, this is very subjective of Marion. However, I do believe that the game in and of itself, most of the time, does not change that drastically. You can still find a deck that all it does is normal summon your opponent to death, like original old school Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't have to play Links, you don't have to play Synchros. It's just the more of these you tack onto your deck, the more viable your deck becomes at a competitive level, but there is nothing stopping you from playing something cheesy and easy to learn.
Well done. You have 6 seconds left.
Ramalama ding dong.
All right, we're done.
All right, I guess I'll go.
Your turn.
Dave brings up the very
before Marion blows me out of the water. How many times do you go back and forth before you call it?
I assume it's 2 each, right? Like I get opening. He gets opening, rebuttal, and then the audience decides, right?
Yeah.
Or the moderator, I assume.
That's what I was. Yeah, two rebuttals.
That would make
so three.
Okay.
3 talks, including the opening.
Oh shit!
statement.
I barely. All right. I'll see what I can do. All right. So Dave brings up the very lovely and succinct point that you can play a bad deck and you can still play the bad deck. My counter argument is bringing new summoning mechanics into the game actually introduces a lot of power creep, where you can play those decks and you'll probably do bad with them, but the being bad with them might actually promote you to leave the game, because no one likes getting their ass kicked for 5 hours. And if you're actively not playing the new summoning mechanic that Konami is very actively pushing towards you, you are very heavily nerfing yourself and putting yourself at an even higher disadvantage. Not only because you're playing a bad deck against an old deck versus new decks, but you're also playing a bad deck against decks that are very actively willing to use a new mechanic to its fullest. Because remember, when a new mechanic comes out, it's almost always going to be good to an extent than the previous mechanic once it hits its strides. A good example is start. Oh, okay. That's all I got. I don't have a round 3 in me, but I can do it.
Is this my closing statement?
This is your closing statement.
All right.
Go.
Tell me. Now, you might think that unless you play Link Spam, Uber, Bomber Dragon, Samsara Lotus Turbo, you will not win your locals or regional level tournaments. However, you can find in the grand ether of cards, there are almost 10,000 of them, a deck that is a competent anti-meta strategy that may or may not actually be competitive. It doesn't necessarily mean there is, but it also doesn't necessarily mean there is not. I would like to cite as True Draco, despite the fact I can't stand that deck, it is inherently an old school style anti-meta stun deck, and it could still do very well at a regional level. It's just, and it's very old school. It doesn't even play an extra deck. It actually actively plays cards that doesn't allow it to. So, yes.
Then that's time.
Nice. I guess I'll start. Now, I know a lot of you youngins want to play your garbage decks. You don't want to play Links. You don't want to know what pendulums do. And you don't want to read card effects. And you might be inspired by Necros players, by True Draco players that are topping in the meta. But do understand that they are very far in between. The distance appears between a meta deck that didn't rely on the new summon mechanic from Necros to True Draco was what? Like a year or so? So that's a solid 1 year of you getting your ass kicked by people who know how to play the game. So what I'm saying is the more summoning mechanics that they introduce into the game is going to be a lot more times you're going to have to learn that mechanic, and eventually you will hit your point, and you just don't want to play anymore. La-di-da-di-da.
You got 10 seconds.
Ryan is a goblin.
He's a goblin. He's a goblin.
All right, I'm calling it.
I need to tell the people.
All right, so
I always fumble towards the end. I felt I started strong, but it just went down.
So to be honest with you, that was actually not bad. Like I think.
Yeah.
So let's open it up to the chat. Anybody watching? All three of you.
Anybody out of the
All
6
three of you.
What do you guys think? Do you think that that it is a good thing that new mechanics and new rule sets should be added to the game, or do you think that that's literally just a cash grab, or that Konami should try to support what they've already done? And yeah,
You should do a poll on these when you parse them out. Can you still do polls?
That'd be really good.
Yep. So in the corner way up there should be a poll when this is up.
Not now.
Not now. You can't click it, but there will be.
There will be if you're watching this in the future.
The future.
Morning.
Sean Darko thinks it's a double-edged sword.
Okay.
I can see that because if they don't do more mechanics, then the game stales out. And
Hey Dave, you think once we're done with the topic, should we reveal our actual how we feel about it, like our stances instead of?
I don't know. Does that kind of ruin the mystique?
I don't know.
System 7 says the point that some new mechanics are good on release is just wrong. So you want the new one to not be good right away and have people not buy cards?
Well, I think that's kind of what happened with Pendulums, because Pendulums at the start were really bad, but then once Clee came around,
Links
it's
were
oh, no.
kind of too. They kind of do like 1 or 2 sets slow build up.
It's a little bit of a slow burn, but it's not like it takes them a year to get their stride. Like it's like 3 sets. But...
Yeah, Yugi Moto says my feelings is that perhaps they should slow it down for an era, then go back.
Well, they don't really slow things down for an era. They usually are. It's like a format to format thing.
Well, no, you think you should do that.
Yeah, they should.
That's a guy thinks that innovation is good, but needs to be more balanced. But balanced archetypes don't sell product.
They don't win.
As long as my mommy's credit card has money, I'll buy cards with new summon mechanics, says PK Master.
All right.
I mean, that's very legit.
Autobot Starscream says they need to both add new mechanics and support mechanics once released.
I'm always down for continuous support for older decks. They've kind of always done that.
I think, regardless of your opinion on the topic, as long as there is a steady stream of legacy support, I'm not sure most people would care one way or the other what the new stuff is.
That's true.
I think legacy support is kind of the olive branch that I think sometimes Konami and the player base.
And I guess
lack.
in that sense, the link mechanic made old cards good.
They made a lot of old cards good, actually.
Like
Yeah.
Junk
Skateboard.
Forward,
Grinder Golem.
Right.
Yeah,
so
Skateboard.
just the fact that not only are you doing legacy support for archetypes, but you're also bringing in old cards and making the older player base look through their commons tins and actually say, hey, I've got this really cool card that is being used a lot now.
Yeah, like I think Junk Forward's a great example. That card doesn't really do very much outside of a link format, but it's very good at what it does, just being a body.
Right.
So like
That's all you need sometimes, you know.
Links were never meant to slow the game down. We just thought that they were going to be a gatekeeper to what we already knew, as opposed to.
Yeah, that's because
Their
all
own
the
thing.
links that we had at the beginning were all bad. So we're like,
That's true.
You mean hot dumpster fire?
Yeah, they really were.
That turned out pretty well. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Max the Me says the problem that I see is that as new summoning mechanics come out, the room for new creative ones becomes limited. So jumping off of that comment, what do you think could possibly be done in the future?
next.
What's the next summoning mechanic?
The elusive red card.
Yes,
The elusive red cards. Oof.
It's the only color we don't have.
it's true. Or we
Except-
could do another
except
blue one.
Promos-
I
except-
think what they're gonna
except
do
Promo Slifer.
is they're gonna go green. Not like spell green, but actual green. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be possible.
Like
Just have,
Goblin Green.
Like, the cop, Brian will love these. But like, there's monsters that are spells, but you activate them. Like it's kind of like pendulums, I guess.
You just want more pendulums. You
I want more pendulums.
you just outed yourself as a pendulum player. You know what? Fuck it. I just want more pendulums.
Oh, it sounded so good in my head.
Give me
It's
a
Would it- I
pendulum
guess-
version of Avion. Just
So
do it.
instead of
Fucking do it.
instead
so
of so instead of a spell monster, you'd have a trap monster.
oh, I'd love more traps in this game. If you know
You
what I'm
mean like the tikis?
Yes. No, like
Oh.
pendulum
You mean
style.
but you mean a pendulum monster that you can just summon. You don't have to
No,
play it
he's
as a trap first and then flip it as a trap and it summons as a
it's
monster.
a half trap, half monster. So it looks like a pendulum, but maybe
It looks like a pendulum.
maybe the pendulum
it's not.
summon is from the grave rather than from the extra deck.
I mean, could you imagine if they just gave you trap pendulums and the ruling is you can set a trap pendulum in your pendulum zone and flip it as a trap and it
Oh,
acts
boy.
as a scale?
Oh, thank God, I would love that.
Screw
You anti-spell
your
favorites.
anti-spell
I don't know. I guess
favorites.
as far as variations on a theme, you could have a pendulum trap style as opposed to, don't call it pendulum, but call it something else.
And there's always the ever elusive pendulum uneven scales. That's something we
Yeah.
talked about.
The
So many.
the lopsided pendulum scale, because they clearly set up the board and the cards to have two different pendulum scales, and yet they never did it. I don't know if it was even something they considered or not, but they have all. They don't even have to do anything weird. The trappening.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could expand the pendulums to all sorts of different of the other, like link pendulum, ritual pendulum, but like what's the new mechanic? What's the one
Dimension
after-
summoning, that
I
stupid
guess.
thing in the movie.
It was I mean, it is a thing. It's got precedent.
If it counts as a normal summon, not a spell, I guess it would slow the game down just a little bit. You know?
I mean, it would make beaters more viable. Like, there's tons of monsters like Mechanical Hound or whatever it's called. It's got a decent effect, but it doesn't have very good search power to get to it, and you have to pretty much tribute for it. Like, there's not a great way of playing it outside of like
Pendulums.
pendulums.
Right.
So dimension summoning would certainly make cards like that, like Jinzo or something, a lot more viable because you could just play them as basically they all just become Denko Sekkas at that point, but you're tying life points to them instead. That could be neat. You'd be basically killing the tribute summon mechanic,
Mhm.
but I guess
I thought a good way to like start that out is use it only with normal monsters. It would be an indirect boost to Blue Eyes and Dark Magician because they have such a hard time summoning the damn thing. Because if you just do effect monsters, there is the potential it could be broke a little bit.
But if it was just normal monsters, you could dimension summon normal monsters. That's cute. I like that idea.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of really good monsters that aren't played because they're such a high level. Like imagine Vanity's Ruler, where only your opponent can't special summon. Just sack that, you know?
Yeah, that'd be kind of dumb if you could just slap that on the ground. But like giving Dark Magician ability just to get a Dark Magician on board turn one without having
saying is with no monsters left in my field, I summon Dark Magician and attack the game.
It sounds slightly less cheesy.
Any final thoughts on what type of do you think they would add? Okay, so in addition to like the summoning mechanic of dimension summoning, do you think they would do another extra deck style summoning? Is there anywhere else to go?
There's a reason it's called the extra deck because there's so many extra summoning mechanics coming out. You know.
I mean, like I honestly think they're gonna stick to that because making a fancy main deck summoning mechanic, we only have 1.5, right? Like we have rituals and pendulums sometimes. So sometimes. So you run into this problem where it's like, how good a ritual monster needs to be before it becomes viable. It needs to be Necroz level.
Yes.
Like it needs to be broke. The monsters need to search the spells. Like they need to have hand trap abilities. Like because rituals get tons of empty advantage and then blow it all in one turn. So that mechanic is inherently just kind of doesn't work. So it'd be very hard to make a balanced new mechanic that's a main deck mechanic. Being in the extra deck solves a lot of like just logistical problems with
dead drawing it and stuff,
and just like integrating a new mechanic into the game. It's like, oh well, it's in your extra deck. Also, give us 20 cards in our extra deck.
I think that'd be great. It'd be stupid, but it'd be great. So many people want that. And they're all wrong, and I hate them all.
All right, so next topic
is...
Oh, shit, let me open that. Should we save the Team APS one for last?
That might be the hottest button one.
I mean, that is the next one.
Well, we started in the middle.
Let's do the testing cards one.
I think that one's pretty spicy, too. So I'm for it, so I'll do it. We should clearly say the next topic of discussion on the Divinator Great Debate is you should test brand new OCG exclusive cards that you do not have access to yet. As soon as you know of them. Mm-hmm. So I am for this. I am under the assumption that you should do this, and it's a great thing.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put on my lithium shade. What's up, everybody?
Put in a solemn package and needle fiber.
Needle fiber, summon sorcerer.
Grinder golem.
So you can summon all the mana. Alright, I'm gonna do it now. Alright, so
where's the stop clock?
Alright, so the reason you want this is you familiarize yourself with the new cards and see for yourself if they're worth the hype. Also, it can help you develop strategies on not only what kind of cards to play to make it work, but also know how to counter it for when you go up against it into TCG. Also, most of the people you're going to be dueling on YGO Pro aren't going to be honor coding this, the whole it's not real, why should I play it now mindset. So if you actively choose to ignore OCG-only cards, you're actively handicapping yourself against randos, which can be a problem in playtesting.
All right, I'm going to call it there.
Opening statement.
Yeah, 30-second opening statement.
All right. Tell me when.
Go.
Oh, I am the counterpoint of this. Yes, playing a game or two with a brand new OCG exclusive card for a deck you like is perfectly fine. However, when it comes to testing, especially if you're a competitive player, I find it a waste of time because most of the time you're playing a fake format which will never exist because by the time you get those cards, the ban list will be different and the current deck you are testing is a complete a nonsensical build of the deck, and you're learning combos you may or may never actually have access to.
And there's time. All right, Marion, what is
all right? Since I knew you would actually say that, because we've had this topic of debate all the time, I actually have a literal thing written for that. Let me know when to start.
You may start when ready.
All right. Now, while the format may not be the same and some cards might not be legal, when it comes into the TCG, if you have played them when they were released in the OCG, you can come up with alternatives, other playmaking cards that suit your strategy. Knowing how good they are can also help meta players decide if they should pick them up while they're cheap or save themselves money by passing them up. There really is no reason not to play OCG only cards. The main reasons why I can see you not wanting is because you plan on playing the deck IRL.
You have 26 seconds.
Ryan is a goblin. Don't let him don't let him hide it. All right, it's a truth. It's true. I have more, but I'm saving it for the third point because I don't want to blow my load early.
All right,
that's fine.
You can
You can always pad for time with the Ryan as a goblin.
That seems to be a
The people
solid.
need to know.
Seems to be a solid strategy there. All right, Dave,
It's working.
go for it.
I think you did your best job to defend this. However, you may or may not have inadvertently made my second point. And that is, if you are playing IRL, testing your OCG exclusive cards does you absolutely no good. Sure, if you're trying to learn the deck for the future and you're just curious to know what the deck will do down the road so that maybe you can perhaps, buy tech choices or whatever, that is perfectly fine. I understand that opinion. However, if you are playing IRL like any competitive player, you are going to find yourself learning the deck incorrectly, which isn't going to do you any good when you go to a tournament and you forget how to make your wombo combo summon sorceress without access to security dragon. Ah, darn. So it's bad practice. You can fool around with it, but any serious testing you need to be able to do with a deck in the version you are trying to actually play in real life.
All right, Varian.
So this is closing statement?
This is closing statement.
All right. So, as I said before, there really is no reason not to play OCG cards. The knowledge you get from playing OCG cards is something you really can't undermine, because you got to be honest with yourselves. These cards will, whether how long it'll take, will eventually come into the TCG. So even if the format changes, and even if the cards being played changes, you will still eventually have to learn how the new cards work anyway, if they're meta relevant, which most of them are. So taking the proactive approach can actually help you in the long run and save you a lot of time in testing. And that's my ending argument.
Ryan is a goblin.
Ryan is a goblin!
All right, Dave, closing statement.
Closing statement.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Testing these fantastical, nonsensical OCG cards that we may or may not actually get. Here I'm looking at you, Patchwork, which we didn't get for like 7 years after the fact. It's a lot of wishful thinking and learning your deck incorrectly. If you plan on playing online, it is perfectly fine and go for it. And yes, you probably do want to learn these cards at some point before they come out so that you are not behind the times when you are trying to deck build. However, if you are playing in real life, which is something that I do as a competitive player, I don't have the time or the willpower to learn an entirely different version of the deck when I'm struggling to know how my current version of my deck works, which is like always the battle. So in closing, don't waste your time. If you're going to test them, wait like a month before.
Oh, very nice. All right, so let's open this up to the 5 people that are now watching.
All 5 of you.
All 5 of you in the
earlier.
chat. What are your thoughts on kind of the lithium approach? The card was announced yesterday. Just came up on YGO Pro, so I'm going to build a deck right now. We're going to test it. We're going to show how broke this combo is. Is that how you want to play the new cards, or do you feel like you should wait until maybe a week to a month before the set releases in real life to actually start playing and learning the combos? Elon says he's going to have to go with Dave here. Personally, I would be so damn sad if I made a deck and it comes out, the deck is invalid, or it takes way too long to get here and it's just not possible to do. Again, that's the Patrick argument where Fluffle players really want this one card and they just can't play the deck at the full power. And then when Patrick finally does come out, they lose Brilliant Fusion.
Oh yeah. To be fair, we did get Brilliant Fusion. We had it for a while.
We did.
It was like a format or so. But then right after, bam.
Bam.
Fwazir likes to keep it TCG. Thousand Eyes 85. Dave convinced me it's better to wait. So I think we got some more for Dave here. People watching this after the fact too. We'll try to put a poll up in the top left corner there. So go ahead and click that to show.
Show Marion some love, because clearly lost. He's gonna need it.
Clearly,
they're all scrubs. What
Max to me says play them beforehand.
They play Dark Guy OTC.
Rex scrubs when the cards come out. So Max thinks that learning the cards before they come out in the TCG is a good way of kind of familiarizing yourself with the effects and being able to be more comfortable with deck building in the current format. Yugi Moto's mentioning Subterra Guru as another card that had come out quite a long ways after the original release in the OCG.
I think they made out like a bandit though. I think Guru Control is actually a real like rogue deck, so they can at least play it and do well at an event.
It's actually surprisingly good. I've lost a few games to it.
I mean, I Witch's Striked that damn what's her face, the hand trap though.
Nice.
Oh, the hand trap.
Tommy wasn't happy. He was like,
what is Tommy?
That's funny. Shandarko says that some cards you can safely say are coming here, so there's little reason to not test them, but stuff like Brains Pack and Shinoon Jump cards are more questionable depending on if you're an IRL player. That's kind of the...
I think that's probably the happy medium opinion.
It is.
Like, if it's a main set card, you can be pretty sure you're going to get it when the main set comes out. So sure, fine. But if it's like a weird promo, you'll never see that fucking thing. Yeah. It's never coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Harris says, don't see the hurt in trying them. I definitely say do it earlier than a month before, since knowing the cards can determine how, if you buy a set. So that's even deciding on whether you want to purchase the set or whatever, if you want to be familiar with the way the cards play.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would definitely say you want to familiarize yourself with the hot button hot button tech cards.
Gotcha.
Like, losing to Witch's Strike feels bad, man. Like,
yeah.
And I can honestly say I didn't even know the card existed till I saw them in the display case and I read them. I was like, oh, that's a good trap card. Right. I should buy a play set.
Yeah. So in this sense, Dave is actually going against his own advice here. You really should be familiarizing yourself with the tech choices, because that card will not be banned. And if it's a standalone card, you should know how it works and be aware of what's going on. But when it comes to archetype-specific ones, the argument would be that it's better to hold off till closer to when the card coming out. Predator Magnus is asking, why is Dave so lame?
Why is Dave so lame?
That's a good question.
Why is he an only child?
It's because he's 30. He knows it.
He's acting like a square.
What are these insults? Are we in 1974?
Apparently, or 1955 with Marty McFly.
Well, Predator doesn't have good internet, so that's the only cable he could get.
Yeah, wherever he's from, they must have bad internet. I'm not.
Zimbabwe.
Frozen Lava Reflector says
no. He lives in Nilbog with Ryan.
There you go. Frozen Lava Reflector says that know what they do at least. I'm gonna have to. I think the more people have sided with Dave, so Dave gets the win on this one.
What do they know?
But what do they know? With the caveat of maybe not play test the deck, but at least know what the cards do that are coming out. So
be more aware than Davey Don't is.
Yeah. Read the organization when cards are released. Kind of be aware of what's coming out. Read the cards. Watch DP Yu-Gi-Oh! But you don't have to actually extensively play test the deck online. Be
sure to build your own opinion on it too. Don't let other people tell you this card's broke. Because because that's kind of just the YouTube way of doing things.
That is the YouTube.
Yeah,
everyone
people
hypes
tell you
everything.
Cyberstein OTK is coming and it's going to ruin your event, and then no one plays it.
That's a bunch of Alter Guys players and going. And
What an Alter Guys player.
Not Valor going to do much now, huh?
Huh.
Oh.
So next topic is Ryan a Goblin.
We are both points. Ryan will defend himself to his own counsel.
No, the
I am not a goblin.
Do not hunt me.
Damn it.
No, the real last topic here is actually
So
courtesy of Team APS over on the social medias. The tweet in question is David1212 is the T-set pass of the Yugi 2B community. Wait, sorry, that's the wrong one. My opinion, Ryan is 100% nope, sorry, that's still hang on, guys, hang on, still the wrong one. Where is it? Yeah, okay, there it is. We got the right one.
100% goblin.
Sorry, guys, that was some technical difficulties on there. The real tweet that Paul has put out is, my opinion, players who don't actually compete in real-life tournaments shouldn't complain about formats or contribute to ban list discussion. Players who compete hardcore at events with strictly meta decks shouldn't insult players who only want to have fun with their friends. I think most people will agree with the second part of that, but it's the first part of that tweet that we really wanted to discuss and have a debate on the validity of that statement.
Yeah, because basically, whether or not you want to talk down to the scrubs, I don't think anyone's ever going to defend that. Like, no one's going to defend that being a dick scrub. That's not an opinion. That's just like, come on. Come on. So, Marion is actually going to be point, correct?
Yep, because Dave is going to take the initiative to defend the scrubs for
I'm going to defend the casual player.
Somehow.
All right.
Since I'm point, I guess I'll go first. All right. So I'm starting now.
Yep.
The argument for scrubs not being able to complain about the meta or ban list changes. It stems from the fact that most casual Yu-Gi-Oh players have never been to a tournament, at least to play in it. So their knowledge on the game compared to people who eat, sleep, and breathe competitive Yu-Gi-Oh are worlds apart. It's really easy for someone to just say, hey, so-so card is broken, I can't win if I get ashed, because anyone can do that. So that's fine.
And there's 30 seconds.
Statement.
Dave, are you ready?
I really want to hear this.
I really want to hear this.
Remember, in no way, shape, or form are any of the opinions that we've voiced in these debates our actual opinions.
They're just words.
No,
I
think this is your actual opinion. Please continue, Dave.
I'm trying to do them. Okay, tell me when.
Go for it.
Just because a player has not been to very many or if any competitive events does not mean they do not have an understanding of the game. Sure, playing a competitive event would give you firsthand knowledge of just how broken Ash Blossom is or just how annoying Rongo with 7 material is, but it does, as long as you have a knowledge of how the game works and how Yu-Gi-Oh is played, you can objectively look at a broken card and say, yes, that card would be a problem.
And time. Marion.
All right, for my leading debate, 1 second.
You may file.
Okay.
Ready.
Starting now. All right, but to counter Dave's point, as I'm supposed to, for some players who go to tournaments and play against the broken stuff on the regular basis, naturally they know how to counter said cards and strategies. So honestly, what's broken for them and what's broken for the casual cough scrub player are also very different. The meta players also drop so much more money on the game to play the best decks in the format. So not only is their knowledge on the competitive scene a lot more informed and battle hardened, they are also contributing a hell of a lot more than the scrub player who picked up 3 structure decks and wants to do good for Konami's sales.
Anything else to add there, Marion?
Brian is a goblin.
There it is.
Don't. I feel like mine are way too short, but there we go.
You just haven't perfected.
That's because you're the competitive elitist, so
yeah, I gotta make it
efficient.
short and sweet.
You're
efficient because you're used to like trying to play your turn really quick, so you don't get called in the round. You know, like
yeah, I'm like shuffling my hand 30 miles per hour.
There you go. Slow
here
play.
I am, like checking my graveyard 50 times when I notice there's 20 minutes or 20 seconds left.
Has an upstart in the hand. I don't know what the play is. All right.
You have one play. All right, Dave. You have 1 minute. You may start when ready.
Crud. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm screwing it up. Did you pause me?
Yeah. I haven't started the timer yet.
Oh, you paused me. Thank freaking God. All right.
I'm going to start when you start talking.
Understand.
Doug versus Dave part 2 on this exact.
Okay. All right. I got it.
All right.
No one could ever make the argument that a casual player who plays in their backyard knows better about competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Than a person who plays competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! That is not up for debate here. What is actually up for debate here is Paul, I'm assuming it's Paul's, opinion is players who don't actually compete in real life terms shouldn't complain about formats or contribute to ban list discussions. Basically meaning that it's not that you, with your under-informed opinion, can join in. It's that you simply cannot because you do not play. And that, I don't believe, is actually correct. Even if you have a slightly under-informed opinion about how competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, it does not mean that you cannot have a part in any kind of civil discourse when talking about the ban list or the format.
And there's time. Your closing statement, Maid Marian.
Oh, yes. All right, closings. Let me
restart, Dave.
All right, starting now. All right, casual players, you know them. They aren't going to be dropping several $100s on play sets of Ash Blossoms or Infinite Impermanence to do good with their Blackwing decks. Naturally, since the competitive players are much more involved in the game, their say-so logically should be heard more than someone who plays Red Eyes every so often.
And you are speaking for yourself there.
Yes. They have a right to complain, but to say that any of that complaining has any real merit in the grand scheme of things when it comes to bandless hits, as opposed to a meta player who has seen these cards in action in a much more effective manner, is not really up for debate here. They can say it, but it really isn't going to be heard. That's about it. Also, Ryan is a goblin. Hashtag.
Hashtag Ryan is a goblin.
Are you ready for your closing statement, Dave?
Yes. Okay, I'm good. Okay. When you talk about the format or the ban list, you, Marion, my good opponent,
what you doing, sexy?
You are under the assumption that when one talks about the format or the ban list, you will need to necessarily be talking about it from a competitive standpoint. However, anyone who is an Insectors player can tell you that absolutely nothing that they would talk about when it comes to the ban list has anything to do with competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! However, as that being your favorite deck for something like Wind-Ups or Insectors, I think it's perfectly okay for you to have that kind of discussion because you simply want to have your cards taken off the ban list that aren't doing anything wrong anymore. So there is a viable opinion one could have that is not necessarily competitive, that is still also necessarily viable when it comes to talking about a format or a ban list.
That was really sweet.
Aw, you defended those scrubs.
He defended
Oh God!
the
Oh, my acid reflux!
I need to wash my mouth off with water.
Oh, my mouth out of soap.
All these dirty casuals.
Oh, it's dirty casuals.
Oh, now watch the scrubs just
So
flock to
now
you
you've heard both sides of the debate. Go ahead and comment in the live stream chat now what your
Or the
thoughts are
YouTube
on what
comments.
has been in the YouTube or in the YouTube comments when it's uploaded. What your thoughts are on what you heard? Do you think Dave is right? Do you think Marion's right? Do you think Paul is right, even though it was a little harsh? Jonathan says Dave just killed it.
That's right underneath it, James.
Ryan Smith. Dave won.
Sucks.
Ryan Smith says I agree with APS and Marion. The highest level of play
Paul
I
and
go
Ryan are wrong.
to. In my local, so I don't have the knowledge to tell everyone off. But the meta people don't need to be assholes to the casual player. So yeah, I have options on deck or opinions on decks, but don't have meta format opinions.
I like this one. The tweet says casuals can't complain, but both points seem to agree that they can, only to different degrees. I think that's fair.
And that was Karma Tarmak said that.
In this one, I think I will actually reveal my actual opinion. Joking aside, I do believe that competitive players, when talking about formats specifically and any kind of ban list discussion thereof in a format context, they do have a much more informed opinion. If you play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And you are actually good at competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, unlike myself, you do have an intimate knowledge of how the game works. So it makes total sense that you would have an informed opinion about that. However, I also am under the opinion of that what my closing argument was that just because you aren't a competitive player and you are a casual player and you like to play on the picnic table in your backyard does not mean you are excluded from the discussion by any means. That is totally unnecessary. And there are things you can talk about in a format or in a ban list discussion that are relevant and are valid because there are large, different, diverse parts of this game. And the Insector player is just as much in his right to complain that his cards aren't off the ban list as the Shadal player, or trying to think of something a competitive player might actually care about.
Zodiac?
Zodiacs, there we go. Dryden's on the ban list, and no one could ever take Zodiac format away, take away from Zodiac format that is a skillful tier 0 format. So a competitive player who is most likely playing Zodiac during that time, he is just as in his right to say that I really wish Dryden would come off, as the Insector player would like to have all his cards go back to 3.
Yeah, I think what I was trying to say more along the lines is they can talk, but actually contribute and think it matters as much as people who deal with this shit all the time. I guess what I'm saying is they really are more important. I think what Paul was going for is just that people were saying scrubs can't contribute. I think that was the big thing, was contributing for him. So being able to contribute is probably
I think
the big
he's,
thing.
as a content creator, seeing a lot of comments about, this card's broke, it shouldn't be in the meta, and he's.
I've seen that too, and I get a lot of people who casual Asian who complain about a card that really isn't a problem. It's like it's annoying. Like, for instance, Masterpiece has never been a card that I have ever thought was actually quite bannable. I thought Ed 1 would be fine. I'm a Paleo player, so if anyone should have an opinion of a card being a big, giant pain in the ass, it's me, because my deck has no out to it. So, like I should hate that card, and I should want it banned, but I understand that my personal feelings on the card may be influencing my opinion on an actual, game health standpoint. Is it banned now? Yeah, sure, whatever. But I can at least separate my personal opinion from what I think would actually happen and what actually might be good for the game. And as a content creator, like Paul might see a lot of people with knee-jerk reactions complaining about a card that may or may not actually be a problem, and that is annoying. I can see where he's coming from in that regard.
A couple more comments here. Thousand Eyes 85 says casual players are affected by the ban list too, so they have this just as much say as like everyone else.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone's really saying they can't.
I mean, I'm actually going to disagree with that point. A casual player depends on what you mean by casual. If you mean casual as in I go to tournaments and I bring a piece of shit that's 40 cards technically and I can draw from it, so therefore it is a legal deck by any. If that's your opinion of what a casual player is, then yes, you are also affected by the ban list because when you go to a tournament, you are also under the same rules as the person playing the tier 1 deck. However, if you're talking about a casual player like I play in my backyard with my buddies in our little made-up Yugi group, you could make all the exceptions to the ban list that you want. You don't have to follow. You can play traditional format for all freaking matters. Don't play traditional format. It's terrible. But you could. You absolutely could. And you are not so beholden to that. So you aren't necessarily as stuck in a mold as the competitive players are because they have no choice. I don't know why I'm playing with my letter opener like this. I keep futzing with it.
It's okay.
I've got my own letter openers over here.
I think
I'll play
that's
with
all
this
of
candy
them?
cane.
I got this is my letter opener.
It glows green or blue when there's goblins.
Goblins!
Goblins!
Why isn't it glowing now? Maybe because I'm not a goblin. Scientifically proven.
You should
End of discussion.
Start going green.
Glow, like...
we're gonna edit that out in post.
You have to know the truth.
So yeah, I think that's the end of our debate. Thank you to our master debaters.
You mean the mass debaters?
For their gripping discussion.
This is cherry flavored or something weird.
Yeah.
It's not even bad. It's just deceptive, you know. Like you don't want to eat something and it tastes different than you expect. It like turns you off. So what are we doing for the next half hour?
I don't know.
Patron duels with the scrubs. We could get Magnus's group in here for a while.
No.
Could. This would be the time. This would be the time to use Magnus's group.
Yeah, when it doesn't matter.
When it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, Dragon.
Ryan knows all about Doesn't Matter, Dragon.
I do.
Him and Will. It's Will. What? Him and Will.
Oh, him and yes. I'm so excited to play the deck.
I'm so excited.
And then
poor Will.
It's banned.
I think that killed his Yugi-tubing career.
Probably.
Yep, right after.
Because I don't think he ever recovered from that one.
Not really. He went the way of waffles.
He did. He's just a skeleton now. That was a dumb gag. I'm not proud of myself for that.
I still
gag.
have the glasses downstairs, by the way.
The glasses?
Yeah.
The waffle glasses?
The waffle glasses. All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess we can. I suppose we can add the tiny cord of Magnus's wiener.
Ryan sounds so disappointed. Like,
I
oh.
I mean, you didn't need to read his group name out loud.
Yeah, it's a private.
No, I didn't. I really didn't have to, but you know, some things
Dave
must be done.
gains 1,000 life points and Ryan draws one card.
What?
I'm trying to say that Ryan is Upstart Goblin.
Goblin?
Upstart Goblin.
Sigh. All right.
We created a really weird running gag on the channel.
okay.
That's
Now we wait. Technical difficulties. We'll be back. Hang on. Doesn't look like they're joining. Is it working? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah. The quality is yucky, but I can hear you.
You're like Kazakhstan internet.
I don't know how difficult it is. I'm not literally.
Oh, yeah.
Remotely close. I'm barely.
Hello. Let's try this again.
I want it to. The parts.
Original stream movie from the best Transformers movie of all time. I'm wrong. So.
Why is this so bad?
Because like
I'm Bumblebee's and shit at one point. Like,
Guess we're not doing this. This is amusing, but everyone leave the call. Autobots transform and roll out. Well, never mind then. I guess we're going with the other group. Does this work? Yeah, this one works.
Do totally Magnus. Do.
So, in other words, I was right.
What'd you say? I couldn't understand you.
Yeah, well, it's all Magnus' fault.
It was all Magnus's fault.
Okay, well, that was fun. Let's go on. Hey, who's here? Anybody?
Oh,
Sorry, I'm Snapchatting.
Looks like
Kieran!
we got-
Oh
Kieran's
God,
here.
it's my best friend. How are you doing, buddy?
working.
Oh,
Making some pizzas.
Counting some money.
You're pounding some dough.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
apparently.
Pounding the dough.
Goblins?
What'd you say? Slaying the goblin?
Slaying the goblins.
You kids in there slaying the goblin? What?
Did Marion
Goblin.
not wanna be a part of?
Maybe he got lost in the ether of
Probably.
internet.
That's okay.
He got lost in a series of tubes.
That is what the internet is, isn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, Dave,
Yes!
shall we duel?
Sure! Time to duel. Your work.
Howie. It's here. Yes.
Time to duel.
Why does everyone know the music to duel by?
Da, 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 da,
Because
da,
they
da.
duel by it.
I mean,
Because I duel by it.
obvious question is obvious. I bring it to all the tournaments. Play it on my phone. I'm sorry.
I have in fact played face up, face down.
Can you hear me now?
Face up, face down.
Ryan used to
Attack or
play Space
defend.
Jam when he would play UAs.
I mean,
Face
and then the
Okay,
video
don't
got
you-
demonetized.
Come on and slam. Welcome to the jam.
No, do not sing that song, please.
The-
My
You'll get demonetized. No.
no, it's just we got a TV display at work, and they're constantly showing that movie on repeat. It's like, ugh, I'm so
That's
sick
awesome.
of
Why
it.
is your
Why
why
Space?
is your Walmart playing Space Jam?
Like of all the infinite amount of movies.
Because they're only when they do the displays and run movies, they're only allowed to put sport-related movies on.
That's funny.
I guess that is technically sport related.
It
No, it's
technically is.
Hey, look, it's Marion.
It's Marion.
Movie.
So if you knew how much
What
of the-
happened?
My
What
computer
happened? I
crashed when I first tried to join.
Literally
Sorry.
moved for 5 seconds. You guys are just not looking at Magnus's tiny meter.
No,
Well, it was like
Things have changed in 5 minutes.
Tiny
all
Luna.
GLaDOS up in here for a while, so. Do you want to duel me, Dave, or do you want to duel some lovely
The scrub
patrons?
army.
Grub army.
Duel soon.
Ugh.
Good.
Duel
I'll duel
What?
you
No, I'm not.
first at least.
You'll duel me first?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, tiny winner. It's
I don't know why.
so
I don't know why you're saying good at the game. I'm not. Like I'm okay.
I mean,
Uh,
are we
Yeah,
all?
people think your voice is better.
Remember, Kieran likes
fair enough.
hyping things up a lot.
Oh, of course.
Alright.
Wait, am I missing something here?
I am hosting a duel, Dave. The password
Oh, no.
is Dave.
Oh.
Dave, I made a 1-2-1.
Okay, let me just.
Screencaster say, hey, Dad.
I assume Magnus's connection was too potato.
I'm assuming that's what happened.
Seems
One
about right.
potato, two
I tried
potato,
connecting to the group, and it was nothing but
Three.
gibberish.
potato 4.
I know what was going on.
Are you going to join my game, David?
I am. I'm just trying to find Replodicus.
Ripplodocus?
Rep.
Rip.
You check into Medicus.
How the hell do you spell his actual name?
Reprodocus.
Replodicus.
Start.
I'm
with-
Replodicus.
All the time.
Repro is
So I
in
don't run it most of the
Reprodocus
time.
is in the dinosaur.
Runamuckadocus. Bamboozlesaurus.
Bamboozling
What's the
gossip.
password? Is it the best password, Ryan?
No, it's
No, it's
lowercase
not.
Dave.
Disappointed.
Show. Locked room.
Don't call this
I mean, you should expect.
It's the
something
same
else.
person it usually is. It's Nubilis Cage.
Doing me, Davy boy.
Trying to.
Goblin player. I know who that is.
All right, you gotta kick his ass.
I'm a goblin.
I knew it. I told you. Oh, if you lose Ryan, you'll never live it down.
He got slain by the
Time-
Goblin
it'll-
Slayer.
It'll be like a stream highlight. Ryan gets slayed. Naughty goblin gets slayed by big meaty slayer.
Goblin.
Goblins.
Shavinator 1212 plays Aqua Actress.
Oh.
That's what you do. Oh!
No fun allowed.
No, none for you. I guess I want to do this then, right?
Senkai power. Supreme King Butthole.
The butthole.
Donut hole.
What?
Mythical Beast Master. Are you playing like the Cerberus build?
Yeah.
Are you actually going to play this?
Probably.
What's wrong with the servers?
maybe
Ryan?
Ryan
I thought it was
will
like
use,
the expensive
Jackal.
one.
It is.
Yeah.
It,
Jackal,
what's
hide,
expensive?
Jackal, hide, Jackal.
It's not high anymore. Unless you're, a peasant.
I hear like audio from the stream.
Yeah.
I think that's a voice.
It's always
Possibly.
So, what do you think, Marion, about my pendulum retrain of Mist Valley Apex Avian?
What? Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. What?
During the debate about new card types or whatever, I said,
Oh, that one.
what you really want is just a pendulum retrain of Mist Valley Apex Avian.
Pendulum 2.
I mean, you're not even kidding. I think that'd be fucking sweet. Why is it getting louder?
Say it louder. What scale would it be? Would it be a level 7
That was a-
scale
that was
too?
It would have to be
play.
a 7 scale, so you can't summon the real avian with it. Because that's Konami logic.
Gotta be scale 7.
Because that would be the wrong
Tiny
thing.
wiener.
No, it
Ryan, you should pendulum summon Jackal King.
Summon a bunch of monsters.
In one turn?
I forgot we had this discussion.
Yeah, it's because Jackal King's a really good card, it turns out.
Oh god, I hope it's really bad.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
So how you liking the main deck avian, Ryan?
I don't know. I'm testing.
Uh-oh.
The Ghost Ogre really needed to
about
stick.
putting it at 3 because you want to see it, but you don't want to see multiples of it. And I have a boner for the card, so that doesn't help.
Not all the time.
That's okay.
I got a boner for this card. I got a boner, it's hard and large, cause I wanna play
Goblin
Mr.
Green.
Valley. Big golden chicken.
We've lost at least 20 watchers.
Haha, I get it. Hawk.
Golden chicken.
Yeah.
Yes, golden chicken.
Do that.
Fuck, my wrist.
You alright?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Black Fang McGibbajim. Yeah, it's fine.
So I assume the Goblin Slayer is Magnus.
No, that's Dave.
It's actually me.
Oh, really? You went with it?
Yeah.
Nice. Fuck him up. Look at that goblin.
The prophecy is true.
Oh my god.
But more importantly, when's the Chaz t-shirt coming?
As soon as I can upload the image to Teespring.
You mean the Chaz
Wonder-
bunch?
A lovely lady.
That was my prize from the tournament.
You're just calling it now.
He was
Bold.
the Chaz bunch.
The
Day
Chaz.
I can tell you against two people.
Of a guy named
Not
Ryan
good.
who was streaming 3 very lovely girls.
Ugh.
That's 2 more girls than you. Actually, that's 2 more girls than you got, Dave.
I said streaming.
Again,
Yeah.
his reason.
Dave, Marion,
Wow.
Tatsumi.
What? Oh.
What are you doing over there?
Reading cards?
They,
What
can
does
do
this
something.
card do?
Reading cards.
Looks at purple poison.
What does this card do?
what are you, nerd?
Are you?
Yes. Yes.
Quick,
Yes, I am.
pause the timer. He's reading what Underclock Figure does.
He's reading Pot of Greed. Alright, we're gonna do.
Just imagine like how many anime episodes would be over if somebody read a card.
I'm convinced they can't actually read the cards until they're
Nah,
played.
They can't.
No, they're way too far
No,
away,
they can't.
Ryan.
No, they can't. They showed that in Brains.
Well, that in the anime dub, they just fudge the cards over with that artwork. They actually have words on them.
Yeah, they have words and stuff on them, but it's implied that they have never seen the card before until they play it. But in Brains, she just like opens the encyclopedia on her dual disc.
Well, they
Do
do
you guys
have
know
AI.
these have these things?
Well, V-Rays, they do
And
have
she's
AI.
like, huh, your card does this thing.
Well, I mean,
No, she literally scrolled through it.
you mean Emma?
No, it wasn't Emma, it was Blue Angel.
It was
Her
who?
duel against Playmaker.
Oh.
It was Blue Angel and her duel against Playmaker.
Oh no. The Goblin might win this
Like-
one, boys.
Yeah, I opened really
She's
bad.
like, I know what that card does. So you don't need to say it.
When I tell you that that ghost ogre needed a stick, it needed a stick.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Well,
It would have been strong.
no, Revolver's is one of those cards to do, and he doesn't even use an AI.
Yeah, but nobody reads Mirror Force.
And Watch Shepherd just uses
How do you not know what
an AI.
Mirror Force does, though?
Because you're in Brains.
Because
and
no one
nobody's
duels
used Mirror
Yuki.
Force since
Well,
2001.
no,
You
that
can
was-
get the Brook Mirror Force that like does burn damage.
What are you saying?
No, he uses
Seacog,
OG
baby.
Mirror Force launcher.
Also, I'm pretty sure, like, in the TV show, like, cards were legitimately rare. Like,
No.
No.
yeah, no, like, I think, like,
Oh.
versus the Blue Eyes, there was only 4 copies.
There's
Or-
4 copies, and then he tore one to be an asshole.
And there only seems to be one copy of Dark Magician if you don't, and besides the red cop.
That was dropped in Zexel,
What?
the rare card thing.
Cards are legitimately rare.
No, they're not. Not since Zexel.
If you could see my fucking face downs, you'd laugh.
Well, I know what 2 of them are.
Now, you know what 3 of them are.
Nice.
Man, where's my freaking witch's strike?
Right? I
Yuckers.
keep waiting for it.
I'm not maining it. I think DZ told me it was
Why
bad to
not,
main.
Dave?
Ah.
And he's a Yuki tuber, so he has to be right.
Pretty much.
Come on, Jasper, you can do better than that.
I still like that thing I pinned. Jasper, it physically hurts how bad you are at thinking. Now it still makes me laugh.
You're
I
mean.
feel bad.
I'll keep it pinned too.
You're so mean. Gee, I wonder what you set.
Lost Wind!
I can't tell if Lost Wind is putting in work.
No, it's not.
Decidedly
not.
when it's like the only card that's been played so far.
It's
The
mildly
situation.
obnoxious, but
It's kind of just keeping him. Oh, what a dick!
Turns out when you can just use the card
3.
to summon an
All
extra
3 of
character,
them. It's okay. That's a swap frog. He's got this.
did I win yet?
If you can normal summon anything, or just I don't know, put Vortex
Put Vortex
Dragon
into attack position. I'm
And
gonna
then
win.
Battle Fader.
I'm playing Aqua Actresses.
I'm a really big fan of I'm a really big fan of this new trap support, Aqua Actress Paleozoic Morella.
All right, Dave. You may now duel somebody of your choosing.
I hope it's so bad. I want to.
It's okay, Dave. I can't beat you up this time.
The password is Dave lowercase.
You should join the person who you want to duel's game rather than just hosting randomly.
That's fine. Sure. Who wants to duel me? Who's this? Who's this? A patron that's here.
I can duel you.
Sue me.
He beat you, Kieran.
I am
It
Sumi.
says sue me.
He said duel the person that just said I can duel you.
Yeah.
So
Kieran?
sue me.
Yes.
Okay, Karen.
Host a match or host a game.
Oh, I can. All
Host a
right.
game. In the notes,
And then
write
pitch right.
Ryan is a goblin, and that's how I'll know
That's how I will know.
that Ryan is a
Right.
goblin.
He doesn't want people to know, but we gotta spread
That's the
it.
real reason.
Do it.
Gotta
And,
spread it
put
like
that.
locks on a bagel.
So do you want me to keep the password Dave in all lowercase?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Why not use the server password?
No.
All right, got it up.
It is the best password, and Davinator1212 approved. Ryan still can't get over that.
Petition to make a play map.
Where is it?
Did I accidentally make it an EU?
Let's find out.
I might have.
No,
Like and subscribe.
I don't see it there either.
Weird.
The locked room, maybe.
It is a locked room.
Maybe.
Davinator1212 plays Schmakwa Smashes.
Aw.
Testing BA, no meta. Iggy Azalea. Player.
There's the same guy that's
Player.
just trying to play Davey.
Are you using your name? There it is. It's no. There's no note, Dave.
Oh, I thought I didn't know you meant the note. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
What's his name?
Sumi wrecked.
Is this what? Is this?
S-U-M-I.
SUMI.
Oh, that's okay. I literally looked at that 8 times, and for some reason in my head, that's not how I pronounced that. I have no idea why.
What?
How did you pronounce it?
Summy, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
Summies, Daddy, Summies. Give me your Summies.
What?
Demonetized.
ooh, demonetized. Some on me.
You can just hear the money being withdrawn.
Now we're cooking with fucking
You bet.
gasoline. Yes.
It's
Ogre.
You're in trap.
Ogre. Hit him with ogre.
I don't play hand trap. I don't main hand traps in this deck.
Lame.
What's the password that I can watch?
Lowercase Dave.
It's Dave.
What deck is it, Sumi?
It's Speedroid.
Yes.
Yay.
Roy.
Did not open well at all.
Oh.
It's okay. Dave doesn't know what those cards do.
Guard dragons or something.
He knows what Terratop does, and that's about it.
That's
Because that
fair.
one's banned too.
That's fair.
Is it the one with Kite Drake or without?
This is the one with Kite Drake.
Right, and they will have no idea what's going on when you do it.
It's true.
All right.
The big
Probably
boys come down
Ryan.
to play.
did not
Playing
open
with the
particularly
big boys
well.
now.
Was that a Prince of Egypt reference?
Yes, yes, it was.
Go sit in the corner.
No.
Speedroid Marathons, because...
I love them.
You're playing with the big boys now. Well, the fact that Steve Martin and Martin Short are the voices of Hotep and Hoyt are the best.
Hotep and Hoyt.
Yes, they're the
What?
priests
Hoity
of Osiris.
Hotep.
In what?
Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt.
Are they remaking The Prince of Egypt?
No, the voice
No.
actors from the cartoon from the movie
Oh.
were Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Gotcha.
Remix. Has anyone seen the trailer in the first image of the guy of Will Smith being Genie for Aladdin?
For Aladdin? Yeah, I watched it.
Terrible.
It did look terrible.
Yeah, I'm like.
Now, this is a story all about how I got shoved in a lamp turned upside down.
Ah, that's hot.
And now I'm thrown in the desert, waiting on a smell.
During your main phase, what the fuck is this thing even do?
It gives you an extra normal summon, and you can banish a wind synchro to reveal 2 and add one of them to your hand.
Whatever.
Right?
And one of them is
Okay.
The gate.
It does things.
That's unfortunate.
It looked like it looked like one of those. It's that Link monster I make before I do everything else. Link
Yes.
monsters. So I was like,
it is a card from Link Brains Pack 2.
I think Gum is done now.
done.
Gum is very helpful to the archetype because it makes it super easy to get to Terratop. The problem
It
is,
turns out you can make 2 Crystal Wings and Raigeki your opponent.
that is indeed true. But the problem is that if it gets negated, your turn ends.
Pretty much.
It doesn't
Not-
end.
Not
When you open 2 Return of the Dragon Lords, it ends.
Yeah, that's.
And you have no,
accurate.
and you have no dragon.
Gee, I wonder.
You open
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
both of your 2 of them. Big boosty. I blame you.
Hold on, I'll just send you a screenshot of this deck.
Senkai
Or
power.
this hand, I mean.
Also, we have a heckler in the.
This little hand of mine, well, I'm gonna let it
It's
shine.
not gonna break.
This little hand of mine. Brick.
Back of mine.
Lancer guy
It's
commented,
not-
"In the name of Horus, you will kneel before us." I could see Yami singing it.
In the name of horse, you'll kneel before us.
I mean,
By the power of Ra.
By the power.
Say something really dumb like
Yeah.
Bakura.
by Osiris's beak. Or it's fucking dumb. He doesn't have a beak.
Yes. He does.
No,
By
that's
Gab's mighty.
Osiris!
Osiris
Osiris!
is he's the Lord of the Dead. He doesn't have a beak. He's got a weird hat.
That's a new business.
Horus has the
No, Anubis is the jackal. Osiris is the falcon.
Horus.
no.
Horus
Osiris
right.
is the
No,
zombie
Osiris is a
guy.
man.
The zombie.
Osiris
Osiris.
It's
Osiris
the
is
story
mad.
of a man
Wasn't it
who was chopped up and
That's true.
killed by Set.
Split
He was
apart?
green.
He wasn't killed by Set. He was just chopped into thousands of pieces by Set and scattered all across the desert.
All I remember is when
When the
Arcantos
Horus
and Ajax helped
reconstituted
Amon put all the parts back together in Age of Mythology.
Ah.
Okay, but
And,
Horus was the
um,
one who acted that with the help of Isis. But they couldn't find one piece which Set managed to destroy.
Well,
So,
ISIS
I
is
feel
all
like he
about
needed that to
bombs,
do
right?
something.
How wasn't it important?
Osiris couldn't return from the dead because Anubis wouldn't allow him.
By the father of both!
Let's see if Gum. Nope. This is gonna.
So exposed, man. Pull yourself together.
It's a revolving door of lost winds.
There's so many lots of I'm so
Lost-
lost.
See, it lost me that game against Ryan, but it whole
so
end
lost.
won me the game.
Yeah, because I can't.
I thought,
Listen,
I thought-
listen.
I thought Lost Winds banished themselves after the second use.
They do. He's only used them once.
Oh, I can't keep up with which one's which.
There's a lot to keep track of.
You know what would resolve all of this problem?
What's that?
Denko Seka.
Big number.
Big number.
Semi-erect.
I'm trying to figure out where I would find big number in this situation.
Just start playing trains.
Just
of
play
course.
different decks.
Choo-choos.
You need to make at least a.
I summon choo-choo trains in a tower. Target one
In your
card in
basement.
your graveyard.
You need to make
Do-do-do-do-do. No.
500
No.
Yeah,
attack
but
card
still-
monsters, so you
Nah.
can cut it in half.
No. No. Yes?
Not yes,
Oh.
you bastard!
Oh.
By succession.
I feel like that was a good play.
I feel like you're right.
Okay,
I don't-
Frog, back to
I don't know if
back
you
to
can
you.
top deck your way out of this one.
Nope.
Quick,
Unlikely.
Drop the evenly matched on him. Boom.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I'm main decking evenly matched in a going first deck,
Yeah, you're just like, just in case I lose the die roll.
just in case.
This is
I'll go
good
with
deck
all,
building.
all convention and wisdom.
Well, would you think anyone would expect it? Because make the board and then boom.
You're right. Nobody would expect it. The problem is that I would also not expect it, as I choose to go first.
You gotta have the oh shit button when you need it.
Well, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition either.
Or Dave to get a date, but that's not the point.
Their primary weapons are fear and surprise.
This is kind of...
Yeah, that's a really good card, but the problem is that it bricks a lot if you don't have access to a Link monster. So I only played it one.
Oh, shite.
Don't they
Turn
also,
my deck.
don't they also sub-equip torture devices in that particular setup?
What is that?
What, you mean the pillows?
Spiritual Swords of Revealing Light. I've never seen this card before.
It's a card.
It's a continuous card.
It's a continuous negate attack. Okay.
It was literally just a...
Tell it to make it stop asking you.
no, it was to summon the trap.
Yeah.
He had to bring out his paleos.
Helios!
I'm
Alright,
sure
let's
I'm
complete
sure I'm
breakfast.
leaving a great first impression.
That's why games are played in matches.
Is it
Yeah.
hurting, Stewing?
That's okay. Shit happens.
Yes, because you eaten your body processes food.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything on board? What the fuck?
But
Have
almost any hand, as long as you have a normal summon and a special summon in hand, it doesn't even matter what it is. You can usually get to something.
It's very consistent if uninterrupted.
It's very consistent. Even if it's interrupted, the only thing that is able to go without being interrupted is the only thing that really screws a deck over. If it's interrupted is Gom Gun, because then you can't get to Terror Top if you haven't already opened it, and by that point you've already lost.
Yeah. I mean, the dream is to banish a level 7 synchro, add
Yo-Yo and Terror Top.
reveal Yo-Yo Terror Top, add Yo-Yo to hand, normal summon Yo-Yo, special summon Terror Top from the grave.
That's the optimal scenario, but you can't really scoff at getting Terror Top anyway.
And that's 8K on board.
That is stay on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna hurt.
Yep. I accept my fate.
Would you
Well.
like a dagger to...
You know what? Why not? Fuck it.
Lost from your own code. Wow. GG.
Mean as far as you can see.
Who's next?
Who's next?
You're next. You're so next.
It's J-Boyd's turn.
Is that a Bugs Bunny reference?
Yes.
My turn on Broadway.
That was
Dual
the
J-Boys.
Barber of Seville, the Rabbit of Seville.
If you win, we won't respect you.
I guess you have nothing to lose.
Well, I do enjoy a nice Bugs Bunny cartoon every now and then.
My dude. Only Korean tag match. We should get in on this.
What?
Come on, my dude.
So
Why don't you just think of
Only you can save Hyrule, my dude.
It's dangerous to go alone, my dude.
Hit this.
Hit this.
Well, man, me and this old guy in this cave back there, we were totally sparking up, and then now I'm lost, man.
What deck would Link play?
Who am I dueling?
I gotta remember.
J-Boy.
Oh, there
Probably some kind of, I don't know, fairy deck, probably. Fairy or plant.
Fairy plants?
For what?
Fur plants? Furry deck? He's playing a furry deck?
That would play.
Depends on if he wants to try hard or not.
It's Link.
Oh my god, what a weird... Alright.
Yeah, weird.
Okay. You totally won't go up against Heavy Storm deck. Cough, cough.
What are your guys' opinion on True Draco this format?
Pretty good.
Why,
Okay,
is
really good.
Jason in the chat so we can rip on his deck?
Turns out when you put Stormforth to 3, you can make Metaltron the 12 very consistently.
Who mains freaking... Fuck, whatever.
It turns out when you put Stormforce to 3, while the deck that made it go to 1 is still relevant, the deck can be good again.
But yeah, so it's pretty good, and I think Extra Deck Dracos is even better because you have more impactful plays with it, and you're more flexible.
Oh, you know what Link would play? He'd probably play Valkyries. That's what I think.
Link makes good life decisions.
Fair enough.
And that's why
Hey,
I made
what
these
day
two
is
combos
Sunday?
of you guys. And no,
This coming Sunday?
in that situation.
Like the date? Because the date
Yes,
would be...
date.
I mean, that's probably not the worst thing to hit.
It'd be the 17th.
Thanks, Sumi.
No problem. I don't know why that took me so long. I had to think about it.
We have a regional that we're going to here next weekend.
Who's gonna win?
None of us.
I don't know how long I'm going to be there, but I'm actually going to be in New
Believe in
York
yourself,
for a
Ryan.
little while.
You can do it.
You can do it.
You're playing a good deck.
It gets like one top every event, so I could be that one person, right?
Could be.
Exactly.
I'd like to just say that in no real circumstance would anyone ever be main decking freaking evenly matched.
It's J-Boys.
This
It's
is-
You should
J-Boys.
have been expecting it.
Yeah, that's
Expect the unexpected.
Hey, it's an easy way to trigger multi-faker.
It
It's
sure
an easy way to
is.
trigger your opponent.
It is a good way to
Trigger your
trigger
opponent.
There's nothing to trigger, so...
You gotta check this one.
What'd you have to banish off of Evenly, Dave?
Good cards.
He banished off his back row that turn, so he lost probably a few paleo.
Oh no, his lost wins.
Why would you do that? You...
Dave, you must not play with J-Boys often enough.
Because that way I negate it.
I'm sure it's at you.
Hello and welcome back to Everyone Hates J-Voids.
What? The trap deck versus trap deck. He gets free triggers off my stuff.
This is actually one of J-Boys' worst matchups.
Not when you main deck evenly matched. Yeah.
no,
That is a great point, Dave. That is a fantastic point.
That's what this is like Ryan opening Dweller Pass against which was
Hold on.
by any stretch of the imagination a bad move, except against
No,
me.
it's
Altergeist is the going first deck, correct?
Yes.
Yes. For what?
It's bad deck.
This is a legitimate question.
It happened to cheat.
okay,
win
okay.
against
It
me,
is,
'cause-
but I'm curious as to why you're maining.
I will defend J-Boys here because this was my advice.
Oh,
Because of our regions. Because our regional is a bunch of monkeys playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Monkeys.
Noble Knights got top 8 last regional.
Normal Dice got top 8 in the last character tournament.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
You're right.
This is a real tournament.
That was a real tournament.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So we sign it up front. You fuck up. You go.
No, that card is totally dead.
It's the front counter checklist.
Why do you think I let it go through?
I guess the only thing left is
Yes.
Would hitting protocol be the better option?
For what?
Oh, I can't see. Why?
It's not that it matters.
I guess the only reason why you main evenly is because no one is going to be expecting you to be maining evenly. So when you do, you catch people by surprise. You got a free win against
Just the
people.
one.
It does seem like the results from Chicago were all blind second decks. Like a lot of the top decks were the blind going second decks.
Because going blind second's good because if you can afford it in real life to do a blind second deck, it's good because you can't be assured that you're going to be going first, but you almost can be completely sure that you are going to be going second. Because if you lose the die roll, they're going to take first, and if you win the die roll, you will choose second. So more often than not, you will be going second. So it's a good way of eliminating a little RNG for your deck.
Yeah.
So tailoring your deck to going second isn't stupid. It's never been. It's always been good. It's just that the issue is whether or not there's a viable card in the meta that allows you to go second, not get your booty kicked.
Yeah.
Honestly,
The going second deck has to be able to.
Multi-faker, probably wouldn't even have it in the main.
All right, who's next?
A deck has to be able
I
to.
got one more in me before I gotta go.
I think you've dueled everybody on
The
Oh
Discord.
man, Dave, you just avoided me because I won't be back until 15 minutes from now.
Oh.
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 I won't get to beat up Dave.
It's okay.
I
We'll
beat
do
up
for
for
you.
you.
No.
All right,
There's only
fine.
no-
Host.
Open it up to all
Whoever
of the
gets in
people.
here first.
The floodgates are open.
The scrub gates are open.
Where am I looking?
You got all your stuff, Karen?
Yeah, what do I sign up?
Set the alarm.
First time checklist. That's it. Oh, I dropped it.
What?
CAX117 posted an image in the meme section of Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right next to my initials.
Where is it? Shit posting? Yeah, under shit posting.
Oh god, we've reached meta apex of the meme.
What is it,
What
goblins?
meme?
The Ryan attack force.
Ryan Assault Force.
I am
Thank you.
amused.
Do you go to defense mode after you attack Ryan?
I defend
After
all
Lancer
things.
got in, he figured out the password.
Oh.
Is that Blancer?
Do I know what it is then?
So Ryan goes to defense mode after every attack.
It was basically modern problems require modern solutions.
Oh.
You got a problem? Just throw more Ryans at it.
Is that what I think it is? Oh. That's
Probably use the
Oh.
server password.
Oh. I am disappointed.
But here's the big thing.
Secret fetish.
If everything's a vanilla, then who wins?
The one with the bigger number.
That's right. That's the train.
Fair enough.
A bunch of my cards for my train deck came in today.
Oh, nice.
Choo choo.
Did you get the expensive ones?
No, I have not bought those yet. As you can see, I am procrastinating buying those cards.
He's poor.
Well,
I'm not poor. It's just $75 for 9 cards.
For what?
Well, come on, Kieran. If
3
I
copies of Urgent Schedule, 3 copies of Super Express Bullet Train, 2 copies of Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Lead Bay.
Oh, okay.
come on, Kieran. If I buy the bullet and buy and power out 2 copies of Extravagance, you can get your 9 train cards.
Interesting.
Look, J-Boys, I have to pay for college. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, it helped that we had a PTO payout that worked this paycheck, so...
I just hope that my tax return gets here for me to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the regionals.
You're probably
Otherwise, I
gonna
will
have
be
to owe
playing
money.
Effect Valor instead of Impermanence.
Well, I got my tax return, but that's still going towards apartment startup.
Oh,
Still
it's a
need
baby
to actually,
tiger.
Oh, Lord, Amazons.
This is the
Probably-
best deck.
Amazon S to heat. Is it?
Lancer is pretty good at Amazons.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of
I played against him when he was still testing. I was playing Flower
Which
Cardian.
version?
I don't know. He was playing something that was definitely playing Isolde because I was playing Flower Guardians and stacked his deck with Peony with Butterfly and gave him the equip spell, and that ended his turn, so I ended up just OTKing him next time.
I need to get my deck finishing optimizing it and submitting it.
I'm very happy with mine. The only thing I'm having trouble with is I'm not sure if I want to main the impermanences or not yet.
The permanencies.
Because right now, I originally had 41 cards, because one of the best consistency cards in the deck is Horse Stilts.
Ooh,
But it's like I'm going back and forth between 41 cards with 3 Horse Stilts or 2 Horse Stilts and 40 cards.
Infinite Impermanence is an excellent card to main in any deck because it is a flexible card that can both be impactful going second and be impactful going first. As you can set Infinite Impermanence in the Pendulum scale to negate the dumb shit's Oath Dragon.
It's the actual hand trap.
I can't believe that man did that. I set 1 card in the Pendulum scale. And he did his play. He summoned Curtain Raiser, summoned Master Cerberus, went into Electrum, activated Electrum's effect, and I negated Electrum, and then he set Oath Dragon and activated Oath.
Beauty.
Which was negated.
He set it in the same scale.
I honestly forget a lot. Like, this is a problem I need to train out of myself. I always forget that impermanence is not it's not negates the effects of cards that are already in the column it was activated in.
Yeah,
I forget that every time. So I play around. So I do shit like play around Mech Knights and place cards. I play around Mech Knights in my head when I'm just activating cards. So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna not activate this in the same column as a monster, and then I immediately activate it in the same column as a permanence like an idiot. I did that 3 times last night. I was so tired, and Marion was yelling at me, telling me not to do it, as I immediately did it.
Well, at least it wasn't like the time you walked into a double Dark Requiem negate.
I
At
did do
least
that.
it's not like the time Cheetah attacked the Mechaba.
Then you hand card. You use the hand to
With
pick-
Alistair in hand?
Mr. Davinator 1212.
Yes.
I would like to
That's
paint
clever.
you a picture.
Oh,
And-
shite.
The picture is there is invoked Mechaba, invoked Raijin in attack mode with its effect gone. The invoked player has added Alistair the Invoker to his hand via invocation, and has added Alistair the Invoker to his hand via magical meltdown, and has added Alistair the Invoker to his hand via invocation the previous turn.
So he
Yeah.
so he
So
has
you
an
know
Alistair in hand.
for a fact that there are 3 Alistairs in that man's hand. And you, as the Gem Knight player, have a 3,500 beater, and a 4,600 beater, and a 3,000 beater. And
I think you should attack the Mechaba.
the player, you with your biggest of brains, attack into the Mechaba instead of the Raijin. Or it wasn't a Raijin, it was a proxy dragon. That's what the fuck it was. It was a fucking proxy dragon.
Yeah, should have gone with
And
the
you
proxy
attack into the
dragon.
Mechaba. And I activate Alistair in hand, and it kills your 3k beater. And then you attack with the 3.5k beater. Oh, I'll just crash. It'll be fine. I'll just crash.
Activate the second Alistair.
The second Alistair the Invoker. And then you're like, well, there's no way he'd have 3. And in
Even
fact,
though I saw him at it.
for a third time.
Oh, Cheetah, we love you.
That's a major power boost right
Well,
there.
there's a proxy dragon on the field.
Wow, wow.
There's a proxy dragon.
The Proxy Dragon. I don't know, man. Proxy Dragon's pretty scary.
Go for the proxy dragon.
Because you couldn't FTK me, so instead you tried to OTK me. But you just kept running into Mechaba.
That's beautiful.
That made Mechaba a very big boy.
Oh, another one?
All the Gozens.
I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, but last night I was testing more of my character deck, and I had Return of the Dragon Lords in hand with Crystal Wing and Clear Wing on the field. My opponent was playing Neos and managed to summon Chaos Neos.
What?
And I prematurely activated Return Engrave to the attack of Chaos Neos on Clear Wing instead of in response to the Chaos Neos' effect. To be fair, it didn't matter. I had a second return in hand.
Oh fuck! I picked the wrong one. Look at that.
But if I didn't top deck that return, I would have lost.
Return's a good card.
Return's very good.
People stopped testing against me because they kept losing.
I still test against you.
Yeah. I'm talking about people who don't match me.
People I don't test against anymore are like. He's not in the He's not in the tournament anymore, but.
I have lost one match in testing, and that was because I drew only spell traps and a deck centered around monsters.
And it was to the Fluffo player, right?
One of the submissions was literally it was for Jack Atlas, and it was just literally one card of each type, like one resonator of each. Looked like he was playing a Highlander deck.
Was this year?
It can only be one.
Like earlier today, yeah. He submitted it.
I would like to point out that his deck is bad, and you should feel bad.
That's what I told him in nicer terms. I tagged him in the deck building channel and said, "Here, ask for help."
Yeah, and then he submitted.
Oh no!
Also, fun fact.
I think
Crystron Needlefiber is just as bad in Resonator / Red Dragon Archfiend as it is in Blackwings.
Blackwing, yeah.
Because in Red Dragon Archfiend, 80% of your deck is tuners, and you need all of the non-tuners you can fucking get.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need any more
Need
tuners.
more tuners.
No.
Please do not search more tuners. You don't need it, bro. You don't.
Actually, I don't know if this counts. You did lose one other match, and that was when I was playing Flower Cardian. And when two OTK decks match up, whichever one goes second wins.
Basically.
I am confident in my ability to top this tournament.
I am too. In you.
Let's just have
The Chaz!
You're not
let's just
Chaz.
have somebody open a god hand of spells and then somebody's anti-spell fragrances you again.
Hey, there she is.
like I'm confident in like being able to have at least higher than 50% win rate. But other than that, I'm not so sure. Considering now that Slumber is at 3, Crystal Wing is easier to out than ever.
That's true.
So like I can summon a board of double Crystal Wing, and then just somebody activates one Slumber. To be fair, I can actually deal with that. I can make Stardust, and I can make Totem Bird. However,
You can, the ideal going first board into blind is Crystal Wing, Clear Wing, Stardust Dragon.
yeah, but more common than not, you can end on Crystal Wing almost 100% of the time.
The third one's a little harder to get to. I think that requires some more recovery.
I'd say if you were gonna go for anything,
What I said to Ryan while I was testing is the Wind Witch, Ice Bell or Winter Bell,
The level 1 tuner?
the tuner.
the bell,
Yeah.
the snow bell.
It's the best speedroid monster.
Even though it is not a speedrun whatsoever.
It's
Because
a really,
it makes it an immortal Crystal Wing. The only
And you
thing that's
don't-
out of that is an Xyz monster. I wonder how you're gonna get an Xyz monster.
yeah. That's my biggest worry about the tournament. My biggest worry is Xyz decks. In particular, my worst matchup is you, because you have huge
Most
beaters
people's worst
that
matchup
are
is me.
difficult to out, and I can't beat over them with Crystal Wing because they're not levels.
Yeah, Kieran's got really big guns pointing at whoever he's facing.
This
Turns
is
out,
a
guys,
surprisingly back and forth duel, Dave.
I mean, I've been in control the whole time. My deck has a hard time clinching a victory.
Dave is just toying with them.
Let's just say I'm surprised he lasted this long.
Dave and Ryan, what is your opinion on Salamandra?
I have no idea.
I've never actually seen it play.
They need to
Figure it out.
burn their own lava.
They kind of remind me of Sky Striker in the sense that they can accrue a ton of advantage now,
Star Ring
and they have an archetypal super poly.
Dave, important thing to note. If you start seeing Salamandra a lot, great side cards are lose one turn and summon one.
Makes sense.
I've actually adjusted my
Summon
deck.
limit stops their turn, and their deck doesn't function under it, and they can't out it. And lose one turn for the same reasons.
Yeah, I actually redid my all guys deck to incorporate some summon limits in the main, so I have it for all the spammy stuff and also Salmon. Seeing that out the wazoo.
Summon limits a hard card to.
The way Salmon
decide.
Great functions is you need to link summon using the link monster, the same link monster, to get an additional effect.
Remember when Salamangreat?
The only one that you will
The
see reincarnation most of the time, unless they are OTKing you, is the Link 2. Because the Link 2 recurs a spell trap to your hand.
Is that Heat Leo?
And it also...
Sunlight Wolf.
Heat Leo's the Link
Sunlight.
3.
Sunlight Wolf.
Right.
Sunlight Wolf adds a Salamangreat spell trap and also searches one. Heat Leo copies the attack of a Salamangreat in your graveyard and gives that attack points and makes that the original attack of your opponent's monster. So, all of your Salamangreats that have like 100, 300, 800 attack.
Most of their attacks are pretty piddly.
What's the linchpin of the deck? Like if you have one negate, what do you hit?
Sunlight Wolf. If you
Sunlight
can
Wolf.
stop the first Sunlight Wolf from hitting the board, you win. They're a lot like they're kind of like Fluffle in that regard. If you
But-
stop the tiger, their turn ends.
But don't try to destroy it. If they have the Link 1 in the graveyard, they can just save it.
I mean, if you negate the summon, you can still do that.
Yeah, no, if you negate the summon, it never hit the board and it was never considered a Salamangreat monster.
Yeah.
But if it's on the field and you try to destroy it, then it won't work as long as the link one's in there.
Yeah.
They usually spam. You can probably load 2 of them in there or something.
That's a full board.
I know, right? Really wish I had it.
So, oh, sorry, Dave.
No, it's because I just really wish I had. What do you call it? Boral Sword Dragon.
Oh.
Oh no.
But yeah, since I have a decent draw card, I put my deck
for-
3 limits.
For your deck, Ryan, Evil Storm Nightmare is the best counter to Salamence, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of putting that in there. I was looking at some of
Oh,
the
shit. That's
some
got
of
an
the
effect.
decks. The regional in Jacksonville, I think the guy just topped with Pendulums and he was playing Nightmare in there, as well as the I think I surprisingly don't have the Supreme King XYZ Rebellion Dragon. I don't think.
Is my extra deck not right? Oh, my extra deck's not right.
But
Shite.
yeah,
Might have to
so
bum that off of Dave.
in your deck, Ryan, Evil Storm Nightmare and Boral Savage will be the best cards in your deck in that map.
Okay.
And for Mr. Dave, turns out Toad and Book of Ass Paleo is going to be the best card in your deck.
What are you booking? Just any of the
You
material?
book their normal summon. You book their
Yeah.
normal summon.
What against what deck?
Selling great.
Selling.
Oh man, great.
Yeah, if you can keep them from having a face up, they can't use Spinny to give them the link 2.
You remember that long forgotten time when Salamangreat was the hot new deck to pick on?
Yeah,
remember-
that was the good old days.
I remember when Goki was.
Yeah, Goki was like
terrible.
rematch was one of the best cards in the game. The problem was that you couldn't do anything with it.
Mhm.
And then the Nightmares came out and broke the deck.
Pretty much.
Similarly to Salamangreat, the idea of link summoning a monster twice is unthinkable. That's awful.
Can they
Yeah,
recur
yeah.
the monsters?
Not really. They can, I think, but not at the time. The deck didn't do anything at first, and then they started getting incredible support, in particular in the structure deck, like Circle, and there's one other card I'm trying to remember the name of. But Circle is a quick play, add a card, and also I think it's special summons. I can't remember that card very well. But they started getting a lot of really good support recently, and I wouldn't say it broke the deck like Nightmares broke Goki, but it is a
After
huge
a brief
boost.
hiatus, I have returned.
Welcome back.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi, kid.
Circle makes one Salamangreat monster you control unaffected by other monsters' effects for the turn.
But it's more useful as a Rhoda.
Yes.
Oh!
I'm home now. Wants to duel me.
I'll do you.
What am I doing after the stream?
It's time to do.
I still need to make sure this deck
Now it
is
gets serious.
proper.
Time to do.
I still find the most annoying combo to deal with in Salamangreat is when they make Leo and they put that code talker under it so you can't target him with anything.
Fun fact, that doesn't work.
Yes.
That's an impossible play.
It's not pointing to anything.
There's one code target that
I've
points
got a room
up,
up here.
down, then left or right. That when it's co-linked to a monster that you can't target it, it gives them an
Leo
attack.
can't co-link to it.
Oh, I
No,
think.
he
He means Sunlight Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a room up here.
A lot of people I've been playing is like in on Sunlight Wolf co-linked with that code talker.
Decode?
No, I can't remember which one it is.
Transcode.
Transcode. It's one of the Link 3s that will take the gun instead of a sword.
And if they use the Xyz monster and then try to transcode talker you, tell them no, you can't do that. And if they say yes, I can, call a judge.
Why is that? What is it? Trainer can only do links or something?
If you activate the Exceeds monster's effect, you're locked into the effects of fire monsters for the rest of the turn.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
It's important to read cards.
I feel like that should have been the effect of the link 1.
Jay, what noise did?
You gonna be okay there, Dave?
What?
Holy Amazon, us you, jeez.
Holy Amazon is Batman.
Did Lancer do Lancer things?
Lancer did
No,
Lancer things.
his every single one of his monsters has an Amazon in it now.
Idiot. Crap.
Is he out of ambushes?
Don't know.
He's got one more.
Oh, window.
He might have one more.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got one more. I didn't see him grab it.
I know.
I think
This is
the
why
toads
Pet Baby
Yes.
Tiger was actually limited for a while in Duel Links.
And suddenly, my audio quality goes through the roof.
Yes.
Hey, you're no longer Ty Wolf.
If
No
I
more.
was here for the burn.
No more pollution.
No more tin can communication.
And once
Stop-
Dave
stop-
has lost
stop
this
with
duel,
audio.
I can actually duel him.
So close.
Who will win? A bunch of women or a bunch of ancient creatures with some frogs thrown in?
Who would win? A giant toad?
Oh, that
or
top duck though.
several thick ladies?
I don't know if Tree Toads or Totally Awesome is actually particularly large. He doesn't seem to be because that.
What's the password?
He's got a peach. Guess. Take one guess.
Okay.
If you don't know this password, you got problems.
I was using the
If you
password
know
I
this
used
password,
earlier.
you've got problems.
Or you're just a loyal member of the Davinator1212 Discord.
I'm sorry.
Or part of Dave's Fetish Society.
That's
Also sorry.
offensive.
Not sure about that.
Don't you know they meet down in the subway and wear dark robes and perform
Yeah, no.
satanic rituals?
He wanted to
all
do that.
night?
Trying to free up his own.
Trying to crash.
Mm.
Wouldn't he have
Crash
lost?
if you do, crash if you don't.
I don't know. Maybe he forgot on him.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a nail
Yeah,
biter.
he would have lost.
Say, if he doesn't have any more lost with he can produce another
Got
big
150
monster.
life points.
He does. I didn't even notice that.
I have 150 life left, Goober. I was
And
committing
that's
suicide.
time in the round.
He's trying to take the samurai's way out and commit
He's trying to commit Sudoku.
Sudoku.
Out of
What does a number
indulgence.
game got to do with it?
It's
Go for it.
It's a by the number suicide.
A, take a knife. B,
Suicide by
take a
numbers?
sword.
Kind of weird. name.
Suicide. That's not what Sudoku is.
Have you ever tried saying they're trying to get
Dave, if you're playing Sudoku like a color by numbers book, I think you're doing something wrong.
Color by numbers. Why isn't this a
Color.
picture?
Well, it could be interpretive pictures.
There you go.
It's like one of those magic eye pictures.
I'm pretty sure that Spiritual Swords was actually what did it for me.
Hey, Dave.
And
you
another
and
one
me.
bites the dust.
Not too bad.
Another one
All
bites the
right,
dust.
fellas.
I
that
pay you
was
money.
Another one.
Yeah.
I
Well,
gotta get out of here. I gotta go to bed.
Dave was dying.
Darn it, Dave, it won't take long.
We live. Yeah, right. We live in the Eastern time zone, so it is much later
I know.
here than it is for you.
Dave
I, in
runs-
fact, keep track of everybody's time zone.
Everybody.
Dave runs with Cinderella a lot.
I keep track of your tournaments. I
If
have
he's not in bed at a certain time, he turns into a pumpkin.
Yes,
Where's
the
his
pumpkinization
balls?
process has begun. All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun,
guys.
guys. And let us know either when this is uploaded, it'll sit in like the hopper as like a viewable video for like a day before Ryan starts chopping it up. So you can either leave comments there or leave them in the video parsed out later. But let us know if you guys like the debate setting. I thought that was kind of fun, but it really comes down to what you guys want. Because if you guys don't like it, then obviously we won't do it. But I had fun with it, so let me know.
And as always, if you don't troll the meta, who will?
Oh yeah. See, I
I'll
thought Ryan
see you
had-
guys next
I thought
time.
Ryan had more input.
Bye.
Bye.